Jiwoo is contemplating the perspective of the awakened on ordinary people. He voices his curiosity, wondering aloud if asking about their views might be offensive. The others listen, seemingly pondering his unusual question. Subin reveals they don't actually separate the awakened from ordinary people. She explains they were educated under strict instructions to hide their awakened status, raised alongside non-awakened students. Jisuk agrees, and Woo adds that his master also told him to mix with ordinary people, which is why he went to school. However, Subin notes it's different in countries where the awakened have stronger influence, implying some awakened believe they're special and get separate education. Jiwoo questions if having abilities makes the awakened special, and Subin clarifies that in some countries, the awakened believe they've evolved beyond regular humans. She notes that most awakened tend to look down on non-awakened. Jisuk then turns to Jiwoo, suggesting he's experienced this kind of attitude himself. This reveals a stark contrast in how awakened individuals perceive themselves and ordinary people, hinting at potential conflict. Jisuk, looking thoughtful, says that even among awakened there is a hierarchy. Then what do you think will be the treatment of non-awakened individuals? Subin, with her characteristic confidence, advises Jiwoo not to overthink it, stating that everyone is entitled to their opinions. However, the underlying tension remains as Jiwoo processes this information, a new understanding dawning on him. He simply replies, "Got it." As Jiwoo takes it all in, Jisuk announces he's leaving, stating, "I'll get going now." Subin, surprised, asks, "Already leaving?" Jisuk confirms with a simple yeah. He then explains he was instructed to rest. "I was told to rest and not move around too much until I fully recover." Jiwoo simply acknowledges this with "I see," as the conversation draws to a close, leaving Jiwoo with much to consider. As Jiwoo absorbs their perspectives, Jisuk decides it's time to leave. He assures them, "I'm really fine," and announces, "I'll get going first." He explains he needs to rest as instructed, leaving Jiwoo deep in thought. Later, Jisuk is seen walking alone as Kartein, Kartein, and Pluto watch him from a distance, their expressions unreadable. Subin seems to speculate about Jisuk's inner state, remarking, "Heh, even though he looks like that, he's probably burning inside." She then elaborates on the profound connection awakened individuals have to their abilities, admitting, "If I were told I couldn't use my awakened abilities anymore, I'd feel like I'm dying too." Jiwoo listens, absorbing this intense sentiment. Jiwoo is stunned as Kartein reveals that Jisuk was injected with a dangerous, banned drug. Kartein explains that while modified, the core substance remains, and if Jisuk attempts to use his awakened powers, everything will spiral out of control. Jiwoo, shocked, asks if Kartein didn't fix everything, implying a failure. Jiwoo's shock deepens as Kartein reveals the grim truth about Jisuk's condition. Despite their efforts, they couldn't completely remove the banned drug from Jisuk's system. Kartein explains, even though his body looks normal on the surface, using awakened power still affects him. The only solution left is for Jisuk to avoid using his abilities as much as possible. Jiwoo is left reeling from this devastating news, the weight of the situation crushing him. Jiwoo is reeling from the revelation about Jisuk's condition. Kartein warns that even though Jisuk appears fine, using his powers could incapacitate him at any moment. This is because the banned drug, though modified, remains in his system. Meanwhile, Jiwoo, Subin, and Woo discuss their next steps, with Woo suggesting they consult his master, Dr. Deline. Subin questions if Woo's master could truly help Jisuk, given that even Kartein couldn't fully cure him. Woo, looking troubled, seems to consider this, but then Kartein agrees that consulting his master might be a good idea. Jiwoo, still processing the severity of Jisuk's condition, listens intently as they discuss their next course of action. Jiwoo, Subin, and Woo meet with Kartein, who specializes in treating awakened individuals. He admits that dealing with drug-related issues might be better left to someone else, referencing Dr. Deline as someone skilled he's seen before. Meanwhile, Jiwoo, Subin, and Woo look concerned, seemingly discussing their next move after learning about Jisuk's condition. Jiwoo, Subin, and Woo have arrived at Dr. Delane's office, seeking his expertise. The doctor, looking skeptical, questions why they've come all this way to examine Jisuk. Woo confirms their urgent need for his help. Dr. Deline, however, offers a dismissive response, stating he's sorry to disappoint them. It seems even his advanced knowledge might not be enough to fully cure Jisuk. Dr. Deline is skeptical, stating, "Even if I do take a look at it, it's not like I can do something that even Kartein couldn't." Jiwoo explains Kartein suggested the doctor might be able to help, as he specializes in healing awakened abilities. Dr. Deline asks, "What?" as Jiwoo tries to explain their urgent need. Jiwoo continues as he tells the doctor that Kartein suggested the doctor might be better equipped to handle drug-related side effects, not just general awakened healing. Dr. Deline, looking unimpressed and skeptical, Woo insists on their urgent need, leaving the doctor with a troubled expression. Dr. Deline, after some initial skepticism, finally agrees to examine Jisuk, saying, "Well, if that's the case, I'll take a look." Jiwoo, Subin, and Woo express their gratitude, with Subin beaming. They then transition to a new location, a modern skyscraper, where Jeong appears, surprised to hear that Jisuk is being examined by Dr. Deline. This suggests Jeong might have some prior knowledge or interest in Dr. Delane's work. Jeong appears, surprised to learn that Kartein recommended Dr. Deline, as he's better to deal with drugs-related things. Jiwoo, Subin, and Woo are at a clinic. Meanwhile, Jisuk is undergoing scans, lying in a large machine, then on a bed connected to equipment, as a doctor works at a computer. Later, the group is gathered, with Jisuk looking frail. At Dr. Delane's facility, Woo presents the test data, and the doctor, holding a tablet, confirms, "From the test data you gave me and the additional tests here, it's similar to something I've dealt with before." He adds, "Honestly, I've handled this kind of thing quite often." Jiwoo, Subin, and Woo look on with desperate hope, and Jiwoo asks, "Then, do you think it can be treated?" The doctor's experience brings a glimmer of hope. Dr. Deline, after reviewing the data, confirms he's encountered similar cases. He states, "It's not impossible, since there is a neutralizing agent." However, his expression darkens as he adds, "But that neutralizing agent is in the possession of Frame." Jiwoo, Subin, and Woo exchange worried glances, the hope for a cure now overshadowed by a new obstacle.